When I first started making money online, I had no idea how to operate like a real business owner. And looking back, I ended up making a lot of mistakes that cost me so much time and money. So today I want to sit down with you guys and talk about some of the things that I wish I knew back when I was just getting started. I know that so many of you are in the beginning stages of entrepreneurship, whether that's content creation or Etsy or selling digital products. So hopefully this video helps you avoid making some of the super painful mistakes that I made. Now, quick disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor and this video is not meant to be financial advice. I'm just sharing what I've learned based on my own experience, but everyone's circumstances are so different. So please make sure that you make the best decision for yourself and your unique financial situation. Okay, so let's jump into the first mistake that I was making as a beginner entrepreneur. Taxes. This might sound really stupid, so please don't judge me, you guys. But when I first started making money online, I had no idea that I was going to owe taxes at the end of the year. I genuinely thought that the IRS was handing out refund checks to everyone who made below a certain amount. I didn't realize that those refund checks were refunds that people were getting from overpaying on their taxes that were being taken out of their paychecks throughout the year. And I did not make that much money my first year as a full-time entrepreneur. So imagine my surprise when I was filing my taxes and I realized that I was going to owe money. Surprise isn't even the right word. I was genuinely in a full-blown panic. So I started looking for ways that I could reduce the amount of money that I would actually end up owing on my taxes. And that's when I learned about this magical concept called tax deductions for entrepreneurs. When you're self-employed, of course, you're taxed based on how much total income you bring in. So tax deductions are expenses that you can subtract from your total income. That way you end up owing less money in taxes. So let's say that you brought in $40,000 from your online business this year. Since the tax rate for self-employed people is a little bit over 15%, normally you'd end up owing about $6,120 in taxes, approximately. But if you also bought a $2,000 laptop for your business, and let's say you purchased $500 worth of courses and ebooks to teach you skills related to your business, and you paid $500 that year for different subscription services that help you run your business, those are all examples of tax-deductible business expenses. They're essentially expenses that are strictly for your business. So even though your business brought in $40,000, because you had $3,000 worth of tax deductions, that brings your taxable income down from $40,000 to $37,000. And that'll bring down the amount that you owe in taxes as well. And in that example, that would bring down the amount that you owe in taxes from $6,120 down to around $5,661. So since learning this, my list of tax deductions has become rather long because as an online entrepreneur, there's a surprisingly large amount of everyday expenses that are necessary for me to run my business. I'm gonna go through a list of different examples of tax deductions that I use later on in this video, but before you go writing off every single thing that you can on your taxes, it's super important that you have a system to track your income and expenses. If you don't do this and you make a mistake on your taxes, you run the risk of having the IRS hit you up and ask for receipts as proof of how you actually spent your money. This is otherwise known as an audit. And if you get audited and you can't provide those receipts, that can land you in a really deep trouble. And let me be real, I'm sure you can relate to this, but as an entrepreneur, I'm already working like basically multiple full-time jobs just to keep my business running. I'm a content creator, digital marketer, graphic designer, and communications manager, and I don't have time to be like a financial manager on top of all that, which is why I use automated accounting tools to do the work for me. And this actually leads me to the next lesson that I learned the hard way, which is that accounting is very painful if you don't have a system. And I'm speaking from experience. I genuinely cannot believe that I did this, but again, I was a baby entrepreneur. I didn't know any better, so I forgive myself, but I genuinely have trauma from this experience. So at the end of my first year as an entrepreneur, while I was filing my taxes, like I said, I didn't fully understand how taxes work. So throughout the year, I had been using my personal credit and debit cards to make purchases that were technically for my business. So while I was doing my taxes, I had to manually sift through every single transaction I had throughout the year. So I had to look at every single different bank accounts transaction, every single credit card transaction, highlight every single one that was a business expense, find all of those receipts in my emails, copy and paste the links to each of those receipts into an Excel spreadsheet, and add them all up before I could accurately fill out my taxes. And this whole process took me weeks. Now I know better and I use a system to track everything for me automatically. And if you're looking for a system to do the same, I definitely recommend checking out Xero. Xero is a comprehensive tool designed with small businesses in mind, and it provides a bunch of solutions including accounting, payroll, bookkeeping, and more all in one place. Having all these features in one tool is honestly super convenient because for me, since I know that my business is growing and evolving, I don't have to worry about using multiple tools to keep track of all the different moving parts. Xero is super popular and over 4.2 million subscribers in 180 different countries trust Xero to help manage their business's finances. And my favorite thing about this software, especially in this era of my business journey, is that it makes it super easy to track my income and expenses. So when tax time rolls around, if you don't have to spend weeks hunting for your transactions and receipts like I did, Xero will save you from that headache. And not only that, but Xero actually crunches the numbers and generates reports for you, so you can see how much you'll owe on your taxes ahead of time. And you can even store screenshots and photos of your receipts in the app as soon as you make a purchase, so you don't have to stress and scramble to find a year's worth of receipts come tax time. You can even sync your business accounts and cards with Xero, so everything is tracked and sorted for you automatically. I want to give a huge thanks to Xero for sponsoring this portion of today's video and for making our lives so much easier as busy entrepreneurs. I'm dropping the link in the description below so you can check them out. And right now, at the time that I'm making this video, you can actually get 90% off. That's 90% off your first 6 months when you sign up using the link below. Okay, this next tip is major and is something that I wish I would have done right from the start, and it's separating my identity from the identity of my business financially. In other words, whether you decide to start an LLC or you just go like the self-employed sole proprietor route, it makes things so much simpler if you use completely separate accounts for your personal expenses and your business expenses. So you want to have at least one bank account and credit card that you use only for business purposes. And those accounts ideally should be the same accounts where all of your business income is coming into. And then you can use those business accounts to pay yourself, but any money that you're making that's related to your business should be directly going to your business account. Doing this makes a huge difference when it comes to accounting, because you can link your business only cards and accounts to your accounting software, and then you never have to worry about sifting through personal transactions. Can you tell how traumatized I am from having to do that? I literally never want to do that again. Now, there are technically some rules when it comes to opening an actual business bank account, and this is going to depend on you and the type of business you're starting. When I first started out, I was just operating as a sole proprietor, which didn't require me to do anything. I didn't have to file any paperwork or like register my business, but when taxes rolled around, I basically just filed as self-employed. That means that my business didn't have its own identity technically in the eyes of the IRS, but now I have an LLC. So my identity and the financial identity of my business are two separate things. My business basically has its own credit score, and that credit score is separate from mine. And all the bank accounts and credit cards that I have related to my business are based on my business's financial identity. Now, even if you don't have an LLC and you're just operating as a self-employed sole proprietor, you should still have a separate bank account and separate credit card. Those bank accounts will just technically be personal accounts, but having those separate from your actual personal accounts is still going to make it so much easier when it comes to doing your accounting. If you want me to make another video in the future talking about the whole LLC versus self-employed versus sole proprietor thing, I have learned a ton about that in the past year, so let me know and I'll make a future video about that. Okay, so now that we've got all the structural stuff down, let's talk about those tax deductions that I mentioned earlier. When it comes to tax deductions, the things that are actually considered business expenses are going to determine the type of business you have and the industry that you're in. My own online business has a bunch of different moving parts since I run an Etsy shop, a YouTube channel, I do consulting, and I have multiple different websites. And I always want to make sure that I write off every single thing that I can on my taxes, because like I explained earlier in the video, as an entrepreneur, tax write-offs will directly reduce the amount of money that you owe on your taxes. So I'm going to share a list of a few tax deductions that will likely also apply to you, especially if you're running an online business. So since my business is entirely online, I write off a portion of my monthly Wi-Fi bill. I also deduct a portion of my rent since I have a dedicated office space in my home. Another common deduction is subscriptions. So I pay for all types of stuff like Amazon Prime, Canva, Google Drive storage space, accounting software, literally anything that I use to help me run my business. Another common write-off is technology. Most of this applies to the content creation side of my business to purchase things like lighting, tripods, but also anything like computers, monitors, and hard drives could apply to most other businesses. There's a ton of other tax deductions that I personally take advantage of, so drop a comment and let me know if you want me to make another video sharing the full list of everything that I write off. And if you have any other questions about anything else that I shared in this video, definitely let me know in the comments, because I know that this entrepreneurship journey can be very overwhelming, especially when you have to figure out everything on your own. And I'm more than happy to share everything that I've learned with you guys. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe if you want to hang out some more. I document the behind the scenes of my own journey from full-time teacher to full-time entrepreneur, and I'm sharing everything I'm learning along the way so we can grow together. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.